Good morning. Poor data feeds yesterday for the in-play stats. It make for a messy live stream, as did the YouTube channel going down for a short while. Do need to be fully concentrated when we're trading. One of the data feeds kept disconnecting for the in-play stats, and the other one was about 10 minutes shy of the correct time. So it did make life a little difficult yesterday. Just a one-off. These in-play stats feeds do tend to be very, very reliable. Let's have a look at some of the main leagues yesterday. Palace did score first. I suppose the only value really is to get involved in the half-time market to look for a Manchester City equaliser or a winner. Aston Villa Brentford rather passed me by. I left it alone with Aston Villa 2-0 up. Couldn't quite see the quick in about 9 minutes. 3 goals from Brentford, quite amazing. Didn't see that coming. Everton and Burnley lay the draw, but it came right at the end of the first half, and O'Shea's red card pretty much put pay to that. I did lay Everton late on. We're talking very, very short odds, just given the fact that Burnley have been scoring 2 goals of late, and even down to 10 men, they might have managed that today. Fulham and Newcastle, 2.38 the favourite, just recounting to you how difficult this match was to unpack pre-match and indeed to trade. Fulham looked dominant based on in-play stats, but Newcastle nicking a vital win. We're looking at the shots on target. Very poor shot count for the whole of the match. Shots off as well. Corners 14-3. Normally, we have this amount of pressure from a corners. You do tend to convert those to goals, but not so yesterday for Fulham. Luton and Bournemouth, another match which passed me by. Why? Because Bournemouth led. This was a big contrast, wasn't it, to the 4-3 Bournemouth win in the last time these two met when Luton were leading. Both teams to score continues to come in Luton matches. I couldn't have foreseen the win, but in hindsight, this was one of those where you do lay the late draw, as we did in the live stream in Huddersfield and Millwall match, which I'll get to. Teams who have to win don't want to settle for draws. Look at what the difference this has made to the standings. It's not an outstanding difference to the standings, but it does get Luton on the coattails of Nottingham Forest, and indeed within breathing distance of Brentford. Saw the importance of a potential win for Brentford yesterday. Where was it? That's why they were battling. Got to get out of this relegation zone, and this seems to be the pattern now. Late March, early April. It's very difficult to dismiss these relegation threatened sides. All sides in desperate need of points against teams where you don't expect they'll get a result. More so in the lower tier in England. West Ham got the win against the Wolves, and again, well, I think 2-1 was mentioned by AI, maybe in Wolves' favour, but a great result for West Ham prior to their Europa League exit to Bayer Leverkusen. No, just joking. You're going to have to get an octopus in goal when they're playing Bayer Leverkusen. In the German Bundesliga, well, great result for FC Köln, but I would have preferred Köln to have scored first, so I could have taken them on. But a really solid result from them. Leipzig, well, why didn't they turn up with goals last week when we laid the draw against Mainz? Heidenheim and Bayern Munich. This, I'm going to have a 10 minutes silence in memory of not backing Leverkusen 2-0 down. Ordinarily, when I put forward a lay of a side 2-0 up, we only laid Bayern Munich 2-0 up because it was pre-Champions League and they're away from home. We laid Bayern. That turned a really good profit. But we should have backed Heidenheim as well at 200 plus odds. They even hit a high of 800, but that must have been very, very fleetingly and did settle at around about 100 to 200. Now, can you imagine we'd have done that and left it. Oh, absolutely gutted. Great call, though. Purely for this weekend, pre-Champions League. Mainz, what on earth is going on here? Normally struggle to score that second goal. This, I think, reminds you of how poor Darmstadt are. If a side struggling to score is suddenly scoring 4. I think Bayern Munich scored 5 against Darmstadt recently as well. Union Berlin and Bayer Leverkusen. Well, we got involved in the first half market here and were rewarded with a penalty for Wirtz, which was very nice. So that got you out with a profit. This is another pre-Europa League limping across the line from Bayer Leverkusen. They'll take the 3 points. Dortmund and Darmstadt, one of those derby style matches, top 3. Wouldn't be too keen to take on any of the sides there. AC Milan, no problem. Roman derby, difficult to call. This was interesting. Empoli and Torino. Again, 2.2 the favourites, not giving strong favouritism towards Torino. But what a result for Empoli. You can look in the standings. What this has done to Empoli, taking them up to 16th, up to 15th, with a 3-point gap to the bottom 3. This is what happens at this stage of the season. We do get these unexpected results. Heracles continue their excellent run since beating AZ Alkmaar 5-0. And that was similar odds. So watch out for Heracles. I don't know if it's a new manager or something, but they've scored 7 goals in 2 matches now. PSV and AZ Alkmaar, that's 10 goals conceded in 2 for AZ Alkmaar. There is something troubling AZ Alkmaar, I think. So those were the main leagues. We can have a look at England. It's normally a play or 2. So it's the Heidenheim match yesterday, which would have been our extreme profit maker. We really do need to bring those ones home, because they do cover up any losing plays and then some. If we go down to England, let's have a quick look. The Championship, anything doing there yesterday? Didn't really lay the draw here. Blackburn and Southampton. Coventry and Leeds. This was a good example. We took on Leeds, unbeaten in 2024, but Coventry do need points for their promotion playoff place. So again, it's just unique to March and April. We're getting these battling performances, as you can see. They're now within 4 points of an automatic promotion place. Leeds will be disappointed not to have broken into the top 2 with a win yesterday, which would have taken them, well, top of the league. So did get the goal back. And when you've laid over 1.5 goals and backed Leeds +1 and you're 2-0 down, you're in a lost position. But when you get the goal back and it's early enough, that lost position is reduced considerably. Example yesterday, I showed you in the live stream, we could have got out with a £13 green red screen compared to £40 green screen, £40 red screen. So that's the importance of that single goal. And do remember, red screens are as important at times as green screens. If you can reduce that liability. We had Poulsen yesterday in the Czech Republic. Absolutely bossed the first half. But yet another 0-0. It's very, very disappointing if you looked at the in-play stats, particularly the first half. So what I showed you again in the live stream, look at this one-way traffic. But it just capitulated second half. No shots on target at all. I don't know why this occurs. Very strange indeed. So we laid the draw second half based on the first half performance, but they didn't turn up. And I showed you live. If you've laid to, say, a £40 liability, divide that by 3. That's about £13 You can cash out with the £13 red screen, which I did yesterday. Let's see if I can show you that. And that way you get 2/3 of your liability back. So this is the example. It's a £40 liability on the draw. This is about a third of that. Get 2/3 of your liability back in your bank. This is a good way to limit your liability when you're laying the draw second half, if things don't come to expectation. And indeed, Paulson just didn't turn up second half. No shots on target at all. Bitterly disappointing. Because I bet next week they'll start doing like Leipzig did and score 4+ goals. But very disappointing there. This was also disappointing. Only a £19 profit here. Should have been. Having backed Heidenheim, I don't know if the graph is there or the graph's been cut off. I think the graph would have been cut off by now. 200+. I know I keep rabbiting on about it, but it's bitterly disappointing. It really is. Huddersfield and Millwall, late goal. We laid the draw here. Why? Because both teams are in the relegation playoff, relegation zone. Desperately need points. There were some others yesterday. I didn't pass on the lay the draw for you yesterday, which was a pity. Could have just laid the draw Bodo Glimt. I had it written out and everything, but disappointing. It was only the second match of the season, so that's why I didn't pass it on. Mansfield and Crawley was a losing play. That's we were nearly out here at 0-4, having backed both teams to score no. But then Mansfield turned up with a single goal. So bitterly disappointed with that performance. And it's another reminder to you, this stage of the season, this side are in desperate need for points for the promotion playoff places. So you saw it with a number of other sides. Coventry was the other example. Relegation playoff places for Coventry. Now, as I said, you could have got out of here with a £13 red screen. Compare that to that, and I'm sure you know which one you prefer to have. So some disappointment there yesterday, and some missed plays. The Bodo Glimt one would have helped out as well. Yeah, let's look more in depth at this Mansfield Crawley, and you'll see the league positions. It does make it difficult to trust the market. They're getting so many of these matches wrong. As you can see, the importance of that win for Crawley has pushed them into or guaranteed them that 7th spot at the moment. 3 points above Wimbledon, who've played 2 matches more. So they're in a comfortable position. But Walsall are still a danger on the same amount of matches played. So we must factor all of this in. I'm trying to rack my brains how to profit from these kind of matches. The only way to profit, really, is to do a neutral play where both teams are involved in a goals tally. That would involve both teams and not have us relying on a specific team and a specific scoreline. So that's something for me to think about. So that was about it yesterday. Finnish Vikings League has begun again. Absolutely nothing we could do yesterday as far as playing. This was the marquee match, probably the top 2 this season. A really good opener for KUPS. Watch out for them this season. They are a pretty solid side. Paris Saint-Germain, pre-European club competition, I think, dropping points again. Oh dear. That's typical of this part of the season. It's going to be a pre-Champions League or pre-European club competition this week and next week. So we've got a double dose next Saturday and Sunday just to add to our woes. Manchester United and Liverpool is a must-win for Liverpool. Revenge mission at 4-3 in the FA Cup. I'm not researching, of course. It's a derby-style match. Sheffield United and Chelsea. I can't see Sheffield United really getting anything out of this. Chelsea have gone under the radar a little bit. I don't know what the panic is for Chelsea fans. They have been okay. Let's confirm that. Unbeaten since the 12th of February. 2-2, 3-2, 2-2, 4-3 win for Chelsea recently. So even if Sheffield United score a couple of goals, I think Chelsea will have it in the locker to get out. They do rely a lot on Cole Palmer. So make sure that Cole Palmer's playing today if you've got a bias towards Chelsea. Tottenham and Nottingham Forest. Well, Nottingham Forest ended their run failing to score that second goal recently with an emphatic win against Fulham. 1-1, 1-1, 3-1 for Fulham. That's an excellent result. And as Bosun says, watch out, Chris Wood's playing, or is it if he's playing or if he's scoring? He has scored some crucial goals for Forest in that recent run where they're accumulating points. They are still in the spot of bother, Forest. Laney late draw, that's for sure. Tottenham battling the Champions League with Aston Villa, and Forest are only 3 points above the relegation zone. Made even worse for Forest with that Luton win yesterday. We can't discount Forest, as you know. We've had a number of these type of matches with Champions League or playoff place teams, strong favourite against relegation threatened team, but the relegation threatened team turn up and get a result. So we really can't take the market's conclusions to heart, can we? We saw yesterday, Mansfield, for example, that there's just too much fight in these threatened sides. So that's the Premier League. It looks very tough coupon today. But Chelsea do have 2+ goals in them, so I'll be fancying them to get themselves out of the spot of bother. Hoffenheim and Augsburg, leave that one alone. Totally unreadable. Wolfsburg and Borussia Mönchengladbach. Only one win for Wolfsburg in 2024, came against Werder Bremen latest. But they still retain favouritism here today. 2 consecutive away, 1-1 draws. No win in 10 away for Mönchengladbach. That's probably the reason why the Wolf are favourite. They do like to score draws. Don't forget that. 14th against 13th. Both teams are 8 points above the relegation zone. They would like to be a lot more above the relegation zone. They could go top 10 with a win. Plenty of motivation there. Italian Serie A, Frosinone against Bologna. Bologna struggled to score that second goal away against 10th and lower. Is that going to come back and bite them today? They are playing 17th today. Again, a Frosinone equal on points with third bottom. Desperate need for points for Fros. So we might see an over-performance from them. It does make trading and reading these matches very difficult. Only one win for Frosinone since the 2nd of December. Monza and Napoli. No more Champions League distraction for Napoli. This is a top 11 clash. A win for Napoli could take them within 2 points of a top 6 berth, which is be vital for such a poor season for the champions last season. Only 2 losses since the 13th of January. 4 1-1 draws there, though, so they're not as compelling without losing as it seems. Only 2 defeats for Monza since the 28th of January. 2 losses against Roma and Torino. Torino losing yesterday to Empoli, and Roma beating Lazio yesterday. Only 1 win for Monza against the top 10. That's their Achilles heel today. Cagliari and Atalanta. You'd be favouring Atalanta here on recent solid form. An impressive win against Napoli. That put an end to a draw sequence. Really tough away fixture against AC Milan, Inter Milan, Juve and Napoli for Atalanta. This is a real drop in quality for them. But it's, again, 2 points above the relegation zone for Cagliari. Expect them to dig their heels in firmly. Don't take the market for granted at this stage of the season. Both teams have scored in the last 6 at home. Verona and Genoa, 2.7 the favourite. Saw the carnage caused by these type of unreadable matches. So I will leave this one alone unless the in-play stats are compelling. Juve against Fiorentina. Fiorentina involved in the Europa Conference League midweek. Is that going to impact them? Surely it didn't impact Poulsen yesterday, did it? Only 1 win since the 27th of January for Juventus, but they still remain third. Can you imagine? They picked up some more points during that poor run. Only 1 home defeat was a 0-1 against Udinese, so at home they're pretty sturdy. 8 0-0s at half-time at home, only 1 at full-time, so take on any second half 0-0. Only 2 wins in 2024 for Fiorentina. All defeats against the top 3, home and away. 3 out of 3 defeats away against the top 4. So they don't travel well against the big teams, Fiorentina. The Dutch Eredivisie got all the big boys really yesterday. Feyenoord Ajax is a derby-style match. Ajax is still on the improve. An interesting match, this one. I would count it as a derby-style match, so it's going to be difficult to trust the market there. Spanish La Liga 2. Looks a tough coupon, only one odds on favourite there today. Look how many: 2.3, 2.8, 2.55, 2.6, 2.63. The market's basically given up on La Liga 2 today. Incredibly tough coupon. The Allsvenskan, far too early in the season, but Malmo started the season strongly. Elfsborg started the season poorly, with a comfortable lead, ending, I think, 2-2. Should be one of the title contenders, Elfsborg, along with Malmo this season. It's going to be one of our summer leagues, so just give a nod towards the results. Just keep an eye out. Championship group in the Bundesliga in Austria, that will be of interest as well. Just looking for a time to start today. I'll do a live stream today, although it's getting tougher as we enter into the final knockings of the season. We just can't discount these teams regardless of what the market says. Relegation threatened, promotion playoff place at within a hair's breadth. So it's going to be difficult. I'm not sure there'll be a live stream today. Doesn't look to be a very good set of fixtures on at the same time. That's my worry today. It looks a very bitty coupon. We normally get the Italian Serie A. That's not playing. Well, we do. Yeah, 2 o'clock. Just one kickoff at 2 o'clock. We normally have quite a few more at 2 o'clock. It's going to be a very quiet one. 1:30 for Feyenoord and go ahead. Maybe if I start at 2 o'clock today, it might just capture a few matches, but it doesn't look a very strong Sunday coupon. So I will confirm whether I do a live stream later or not. We don't seem to have that volume of matches today. That's the lower tiers in Greece. So I'll have to think about this one, and I will confirm it at footballtradingprofits.com. It doesn't look a very strong coupon times wise. All of these matches, as you can see in the Premier League, spread out. Yesterday was ideal. We had hundreds of matches kicking off at 3 p.m. It's perfect. 11:15 start. I can be on Telegram for those. 1 o'clock, La Liga 2, Allsvenskan. With again, the Allsvenskan season is very young. Maybe start at 1:30 for Feyenoord go ahead. Moving on to the Napoli match. And as you can see, it's not that volume of matches. That's the problem. So I will do a tentative live stream at about 2 o'clock, but I might cut it short if it gets quiet. So expect that today. We might have some other leagues providing us with some buffer for our matches. Just not the volume is there today. And they're all spread out. 2 here, 2 there. So 2 o'clock provisionally for the live stream, but it might have to be cut short if there's nothing much to talk about. Have a great day, and I'll see you a bit later. Why didn't we back Heidenheim at 200 to 1? Oh, see you later.